Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're having a great start of the week so far. And welcome to the crypto market today. We're going to do a new video right here on everything that you need to know. So the fundamentals a little bit. There's no major news. I mean, there was some news coming out, I think, today from the United States on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but to my knowledge, at least I follow some feeds. To my knowledge, we haven't seen that, and we've had some headlines regarding the tariffs from Mexico, from Brazil, and some other irrelevant stuff. But we'll take a look at the fundamentals first. Then we'll talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and we'll talk about the critical levels there, especially for Bitcoin, as most of you know. Especially right now, a lot is correlated to Bitcoin, so therefore it's very important to know the critical levels for Bitcoin, and that's also why the thumbnail says something like critical update. We'll look at those most important levels, which at this point of time we're still holding. At this point of time, Bitcoin, purely technically, is still incredibly bullish. I said this morning that I believed we would rally up into that level at $126,000 and retrace from there. At this point of time, that still seems most likely, but we'll talk about that more in a moment. Let's get right into it. First of all, fundamentals are relatively stable. The S&P 500 opened lower over the course of the last 24 hours, but has been able to reclaim relatively well. Now, I would still say that there's reasons to be, cautious with the S&P 500 because it does seem like we are losing the uptrend. But losing the uptrend doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be very bearish for Bitcoin. And I also don't think the uptrend is fully lost yet. So at this point of time, fundamentals are stable. And if you take a look at other indices or other factors, the volatility index opened higher, which means there was a little bit more volatility and unrest. But it's also pulling back. And gold rallied a little bit over the course of the end of last week. But that has also pulled back and is actually trading lower than the open today. So the fundamentals at this point of time are fine, although it remains it remains a good routine to keep your eyes on news. All right, and news is also something I try to keep you updated on Telegram and on X. So if you're interested in that, and then consider joining those. It's completely free, of course. But yeah, so that's what to watch. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, over the course of today, you can see right now we're getting some real volume back because the US market is opening. By far the most important area for Bitcoin is this area right here, where you have the single print. So that's an imbalance at 120,000. That's not the rectangle I wanted, but you have that. So that's the first major support level. Then you have the 236 fib within there, and then the value area high of the price action yesterday. So you get this level right here at 190. Let's make it easier, between 120,000 and 119,000. As long as we're holding that, I expect stability to the upside, and if we have stability to the upside, I expect higher highs, right? It's as simple as that. If we fail to get a strong reaction here in this level, that's a bad sign. If we drop down below that, that's a worse sign. Then we'll drop down into 117.6 at least, probably with a drop into 115, the area down here, following, because that would be the first bearish breakout we've seen in a while. But as that stands, and at this point of time, I have to say Bitcoin is holding very, very well. Like it hasn't even hit that level, and we already got some buying coming back. High volume candle with the point of control here at the bottom. So I would say at this point of time, Bitcoin's still looking absolutely fine. So that means that the majority of the market will also look fine, although Bitcoin dominance has bounced a little bit. But that means that for the market, I expect exactly the same. Bitcoin is quite correlated to Bitcoin, or XRP is quite correlated to Bitcoin. Right now we're waiting for whether we can actually break above $3. $3 is by far the most important level for XRP. If we're able to break above that on the higher time frames with volume, and at this point of time we have volume, so we just need to get that breakout, then I think we're going for at least the equal highs right here at 3.34, but I will keep you updated on that. And for Ethereum, Ethereum is a little bit weaker than the rest, but ultimately if Bitcoin is able to hold that level, and if Ethereum, look, for Ethereum specifically, the critical level is actually a little bit different. For Ethereum, the critical level is this level right here, I would say, around 3,000 and 2,980. So for Ethereum specifically, that's the area where we need to get a good reaction to go for higher highs, which higher highs for Ethereum at this point of time probably means Let me quickly look it up. Probably means 3,200. So those are my thoughts on the majors. That's what I think you need to know. By the way, I forgot to tell you that tomorrow we have the inflation rate coming out. So keep your eyes on that. I wanted to go live streaming, but I can't. I have some leakages at home, which is not great, but we'll manage. So keep your eyes on that, and that's something I will keep you updated on as well. Now, when we're talking about altcoins right here, there's a couple of altcoins that I would like you to keep your eyes on. I still think those veteran coins, right? So then we're talking about Stellar, we're talking about XRP still, we're talking about Hedera, we're talking about Algorand. They had so much momentum that I doubt that all of their bullish momentum is gone, right? Whether we're going to pull back or not, that depends on Bitcoin, but still very much a category I think you should keep your eyes on. And then I have two other ones that I think you need to keep your eyes on. First of all, Turbo, incredibly strong, now at resistance. I would not buy, but with a pullback into that area right here, around 0.5 cent, looks great. Think it will rally again. Super high volume. And Compound. Compound is a great project, and you can see right now on the higher time frames, it's trying to break above a massive key level right here between $49.5 and $48. Wait for the high time frame close, but very interesting. So Compound, the ticker is Comp, right? Oh, that's it. So that's what I think you need to know for right now. I mean, there's certainly other altcoins that have a lot of momentum as well, but those are the ones I'd focus on for now. My apologies, and hopefully that helps. I'll keep you updated on this. Be careful as always, but at this point of time, there's nothing to worry about yet, I'd say. You just need to know when you should start worrying. So hopefully you know that now, but for now that's it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.